Hi, this is Ty Trumbull from Acquira. The business buying journey can be a little difficult to picture yourself in if you haven't already been through it. This video series we're releasing right now is meant to rectify that by bringing you interviews with acquisition entrepreneurs at different stages in their journey, from the beginning, middle, and end, in order to allow you to picture yourself in their shoes a little bit. One of those acquisition entrepreneurs is Ken Lavertu. Ken actually went through our process in record time, closing on a business just 4 months after bringing it to the investment committee, faster than we've ever seen. And this was in a business where he had never worked in the industry. The fact is that Ken just created his investment thesis so thoroughly and so specifically that he was able to identify a great deal when he saw it, even though he didn't know anything about the specific industry. Ken is now in the second month of owning that business, A1 Granite in Florida. And I wanted to catch up with him to see what he's learned in his second month and what he's taken away from the ACE framework and all of the post-acquisition growth process. Here's our conversation. So Ken, you bought your business how long ago now?
So bought the business June 28th is when we closed, and it's now August 26th. So we're coming up on 2 months.
So last time we walked through this was at about the 1 month point. What has transpired at A1 Granite since in that month period in between?
Sure. So we finally got on board our people and culture person, and she's now neck deep in a lot of the decisions about hiring and firing and raises and pay scale, but also setting the tone for excellent communication within the office, breaking down barriers between the shop and the office, and then empowering people to make those kinds of changes and what it means. And it's nice for that not to be coming just from me, but now coming from somebody else who's sort of a neutral third party advocating on behalf of our employees. So I think it's been really, really helpful to have somebody else in the office to bounce off personnel and culture ideas, and really nice to have them now writing out job descriptions, interviewing people. It's taking a lot of my time, and it was a bottleneck for sure here. So that has really helped kind of propel us forward. I wish we would have found her a week after I started. And that was always like priority. It was just finding the right person to do it. I think it takes a special person to do this well and not think of this as an HR people process management position, because that's not what I wanted it to be. It's not what Acquira has encouraged me to really think through this position. And we have metrics, we have things that she knows what it means for her to do a good job in this role. What does good look like as a people and culture person? Because it could be a very nefarious or just an out there kind of position. So she has clear metrics. She has a clear guide now on what this should look like, and there's a lot of clarity with her now, right out of the gate. And it was really, really helpful. So to find a person that could kind of operate away from the traditional HR model, and to really advocate for people rather than just a people processor, which I've always thought HR kind of was anyway. You only ever talk to HR when there's a problem or you need to process someone, and that's not what we want. We don't even really have a traditional office manager, because everybody kind of does their own job, and then I feel like the office manager does a lot of what a people and culture person should do anyway. Maybe we'll get an office manager, but right now she's doing a lot of that kind of work, along with hiring and job description and giving people clarity and career paths and where there wasn't one before. So yeah, it's going to take a long time. She hasn't figured it all out right now, but she's on the right path, and I'm really, really excited. Everyone that meets her says you found an amazing person to stick with to be with this company and get all this figured out. So that's a big thing that's happened this last month.
It's interesting that, the people and culture person is sort of the first official person, I guess, of the leadership team as far as Acquira's ACE framework goes. And it's already, lifting the burden off of you somewhat.
Yeah. And I had not thought that at the beginning. I didn't have a whole lot of faith that was the first person we needed to hire. I thought we needed a shop manager first, and an operations director, and all these other people to help fix all the problems. But now I really regret that sort of mentality I had at the beginning, because all thinking through all those things, she's provided so much clarity and actually pushed back on some things that I really needed to push back on. And I'm like, man, where were you 2 months ago? So that was just me. I don't say not believing Acquira, but it was like, man, I just my personality. I wanted to hire everyone to fix everything, and that's not the right way to do it. We actually have great people here that just need more direction, and they need more communication and expectations and job clarity. And that, I don't know that we need to hire a bunch more people to fix any of the issues. We just have to turn the people on to the right process, right way to do things, expectations and clarity in their job descriptions. So that was really helpful. But yeah, that was something that's really ended up helping me. Yep.
Very cool. And I know you guys had your first workshop for the
Yes.
ACE framework. How did
Yep.
that go?
That's what all this is. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different whiteboarding. We spent a lot of time just whiteboarding process.
Hmm.
It wasn't like something really on the schedule, but I asked our integrator if we could really spend time on whiteboarding because I had everyone in the room and we could just knock it out. And I don't know that we'd have that much time to do it with all of us there.
Mm.
So now I'm gonna whiteboard. I'm gonna digitize the process of everything of every department. So we actually have a clean process on a chart, so we can look at, change, review, go over regularly with our team when we're thinking about process. And that's something I really learned is we can't just get a software program that's going to fix us. That is my temptation. It's like we just need a better system because we use so much paper. But if we don't have a good process and outlined and everyone understanding what everyone does, the software isn't going to fix that. Software should only fix an already good process. It should just grease the wheels. And so anyway, that was really, really helpful for us to do in our workshop. We also talked about core values. Still have a long ways to go on that, but we definitely have like a good foundation for that. Something we'll just keep bringing up. We're using the word curious a lot now. And it was something that we had talked about in our workshop that we think probably should be a core value, but we haven't set it in stone. And it's fun to see people start saying communication, curiosity, and that's probably going to be, I don't know, it's fun to see everything kind of come together.
Hmm.
People actually start using the same language without meaning to. So it's fun.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting. That's very cool. And I'm really curious about at this point in your journey, like, you never worked in the granite industry before, but you found this business and it fit your investment thesis and you went ahead and went through the process and closed on it. So as someone coming from outside of the industry, what has been the biggest hurdle and the biggest learning point for you
I
in
don't
that
think
journey?
it's been about specifically how to cut granite or sell it or anything, although I'm learning all that stuff. It's been process, like
Mm,
how somebody walks through the door, how are we selling? And then, so from cradle to grave, what is the customer experience? And then what is the process? And then figuring out all the bottlenecks and how to solve for making those bottlenecks go away. And usually
mm,
it's not like, oh, we just don't understand the granite business. It's not that. It's I just need to understand how process works here and I can fill in the blanks. I have enough talented people here with enough experience that can fill in the blanks, and we become this collaborative team where what I bring to the table is more high level strategy and how can I get people to work together and process.
mhm,
Um, and all the little minutia about, well, this particular granite, if you cut it a certain way and the shop will crumble and it'll chip. So we tell customers we don't recommend that. There's a lot of high risk and they have to sign off saying that this could get damaged because it's natural stone. Like that real specific stuff doesn't really help me. It's
mm,
good to know it. But I have people who already know that. My
mhm,
value is not like, oh, I bring 25 years of granite experience into the business. It's, well, you could be doing the same thing for 25. You have 25 years of experience of learning one thing. So uh, to me, there is value in that, but I already have people here that have years of experience. And so my skill set, that's not what the skill set that they need. What they need is somebody who can really bring a team together, create a team, leadership team. How do we work together? How do we talk together? It's the age old, like, what's the biggest problem we have here? Well, it's clarity and communication. And
mm,
and so that has been something I've really tried to focus and work on since I've been here, and it's really helped, I think. Um,
mhm.
the team has said so too. So it's nice to have that.
Yeah, that
But
makes a
yeah,
lot of sense.
so it's been a challenge and like having to ask a lot of questions. Again, we go back to the word curiosity. I'm always asking questions. And I
Hmm.
think it's modeling it for them too, for them to ask questions instead of judging people that they don't like or a process they don't like. Let's be curious. Let's ask why. Let's dig into it a little bit more and, you know, give people the benefit
Hmm.
of the doubt or give process the benefit of the doubt. Like, so yeah, it's been good to kind of bring that to the team, even though I know nothing about granite. So
That's very cool. And I know you're headed for another, you're going to go check out another granite company or have another
yeah.
workshop.
So the first thing, because I don't have a lot of knowledge in the granite business, I surrounded myself with people that do, even outside our company. Because
Hmm.
even our company, we're a little bit myopic, right? We only see what we see within our structure and our framework here. So I joined a mastermind where it's granite companies from all over the country have get together every quarter and they talk about best practices, the best tools, the best process, the best vendors, and now we do there's like group purchasing. We also benchmark each other on our financials. So like, what is a gross profit for most of these businesses and how much are they spending in marketing? What are they paying a salesperson? What are they seeing moving? Like what product is moving? Where's the market headed? And so I joined a group. I'm a really big mastermind person. It's how I grew and successfully sold my last business, was from surrounding myself with people better than me, bigger than me,
Hmm.
better than me. So that's what I'm doing here. And I got my team really, really excited about it. We literally talk about it every day for the past 2 weeks. So we're going up to Boston. There's going to be 5 of us. And we're flying up to Boston. We found really cheap tickets. They did a block room for the hotel, and then they're going to feed us. And so we're going to be there from Tuesday to Friday of next week. Um, then we're going to a baseball game. We're, at the end, so we're connecting. So I'm really, really excited about it.
That's
So
very
we're
cool.
just a $30 million granite company. They're like 5 times the size we are. So like we're going to learn a lot. And yeah,
Hmm.
so.
That's great. I'd be remiss not to ask you about the ACE framework at this point. Like,
Yeah.
how is it helping or guiding your journey at this point?
Yeah, so we're still at the kind of the top end of the funnel. We have a lot of
Hmm.
like very specific things we needed to work out here first. Um, and so I don't like Brian has been really good resource. We've already had our first workshop. We've hired our people and culture person. So if you look at the ACE framework, that's kind of the first thing. And so we're well along into that. I think my next milestone is to get a lot more clarity on our financials here, and then what financials are actually important that we should track. Because you can make QuickBooks sing and dance all you want, track this, that, and the other, but what's really important, right? And then what department needs, like what does each department need for their metric, and how do they
Hmm.
impact the P&L? So we talked about that in our leadership meeting, like why we look at P&Ls, why it's important for the leadership team to take the P&L and figure out where they fit into that, and how they make an impact there. So that's next. But I didn't want to do that until I talked to other granite guys, and specifically this granite company we're going to see.
Hmm.
That's his thing. He loves numbers, he loves analytics, and he tracks everything. So I want to see what tools he's using, what he's tracking, what he's doing. So we'll do a deep dive workshop into that.
That's great.
So
Great. Well, thanks for talking us through this today, Ken.
yeah, of course. Excited to do it. Until next time.
Yeah. Until next time. Take care.
Yeah. Bye.
That's my conversation with Ken. His whole journey began with our accelerator program, which is designed to help you find and close a business within 7 months. That's generally at half the time and half the cost as it would take you to do it on your own. If you'd like to begin your own business buying journey, simply fill out the form at the side of the page or at the link below, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for your time.